All right, so after having laid out your pieces, you're going to work in rows. You're not going to sew these two and then these two, because what you're going to do is sew each row together, the pieces, and then sew those finished rows together. So I'm going to put right sides together. Now for hand sewing, I like to mark the seam. So 1/4 of an inch, make sure it's all together. And if you're using pencil, here's a tip. Mark the dark side, not the light side, so you don't see it. So I'm just going to run this across there. Now, I've started with a knot, and I'm going to come in a very small amount and go back over the edge and back into the same stitch, or really close to it. You want to lock this edge in. Now I'm going to go forward with a tiny running stitch and come up, and we're going to do a back stitch. So you've got a space in between. Okay, I'm just going to fix this back stitch here. I missed it. All right. So remember, with the back stitch, we start a space ahead and we go backwards. It's hard to see with the white, my apologies. Okay, and then we go forward, leaving a space. Back to the edge of the first stitch, forward, and you're doing tiny stitches. The reason you want to do tiny stitches is because you're emulating the sewing machine. Big stitches and it will come apart. So this is a good exercise to practice doing tiny stitches. Now I'm just holding the fabric together. It's all lined up. I didn't have to put pins in. If you feel more comfortable putting a pin in to keep it together, that's up to you, but you don't necessarily need to. So I'm going to sew that. Oh, see, there's the problem. Get a smaller pin.